Alf, it is true that some sports cards are gonna go to zero. Stick around. What's going on, sports card hobby family? Another day, another sports card video. I do have a new mic. So for all of you audio experts that have been waiting for me to get some sort of a microphone, let me know how this sounds. We're kind of just testing this out. I don't know really how to make adjustments at this point. So hopefully this sounds better than what it usually sounds like. Before I dive in, huge thanks to today's video sponsor, Pristine Auction. Monthly auctions, weekly, daily, even 10-minute auctions over there at Pristine. They've got their elite auction ending soon, and you can get $10 off your first auction win using the Sports Card Dad promo. I've got a link down below that tells you everything, and we'll take you over there. Also, if you've never submitted with PSA before, I've got a code down below, $25 off your first submission at the billing and shipping screen, SCD25. Gets you $25 off your first PSA submission. One card minimum, that's it. One card minimum to give them a try. All right, I saw this meme by Lamine James going back maybe like, I don't know, a few days, a week ago, and it was funny because it kind of brought back memories, not just for this particular card, but just for a lot of cards going back to 2020 and 2021. And man, in the history of sports cards, I don't know if there's been one player that's lost people as much money as this one has by holding on to cards, Zion Williamson. Now, of course, I remember going back in time, there was speculators that were playing the game of, buying when he was injured and then kind of selling when, in the offseason when he's coming back and he's looking all muscular and stuff and he's ready for the season. But then inevitably he would get hurt again. So kind of playing that game, buying when he's hurt and selling when he's back. But if you look at this guy's prices now, all of the shine, the spotlight has come off of him and other newcomers into the league. And Zion has become kind of somewhat of a forgotten hobby guy that just eats too many cheeseburgers in the offseason. And frankly, I think the Pelicans gave him like $150 million extension. And I just kind of wonder, man, if somebody threw me $150 mil, and basically a guaranteed contract, it's like some of these guys, yeah, they're going to play through. They're going to be the Michael Jordans and the Kobes that are going to go out there and they're going to do their thing. But a lot of guys aren't. And we've seen that across not just the NBA, but especially the NBA, because you have these guaranteed contracts and you have basically like bench players that make $10 million a year. But in the NFL, it's the same sort of a thing. You've got guys that, they want more guarantees in the contract. And then you've got Deshaun Watson out here with a $200+ million contract, just kind of, collecting 40, 50 million a year for the Browns and not been the same guy at all since his scandal. So there's always that other side of the coin why ownership does not want to hand out huge guarantees on these deals. Baseball, you see it all the time too. 10-year deal, and these guys are hurt for half of it or whatever. So going back, that 2020 Optic base, it's just the base rookie in a PSA 9 selling at $130, $140. And the meme here is, of course, that this one sold for 99 cents. Sold for 99 cents. And Nat Turner actually commented on this post and said that'll probably go unpaid, which I thought was pretty funny. But 99 cents, of course, it's what, 15, 20 bucks to grade, let alone, the card itself. And that thing sitting in a slab, 99 cents. Now, we've talked about this ad nauseum on the channel, just Slabgate and too many slabs and all that stuff. There's going to be a lot of dollar boxes in the future that are slab dollar boxes, and this is an example of one right here. It's just amazing in such a short period of time. You're talking about dropping 99.9% of value. Absolutely tremendous. But this is not a new thing that just started in 2020, 2021. I pulled out an example of a card that I remember being expensive at the card shop, and it was the 1989 score Thurman Thomas rookie. This is going back, of course, the Jim Kelly, the no-huddle offense, and the Bills were insane on offense. They were on defense too, but this was when they were running to the Super Bowl every year, it felt like. But Thurman Thomas was kind of that scat back that was able to run the ball. He was a power runner that could also catch the ball out of the backfield. So Marshall Faulk before Marshall Faulk, Alvin Kamara before Alvin Kamara, it was Thurman Thomas. This card raw, ungraded, because again, going back to 1990, no grading. And then 1991, yes, grading started, but it was not prolific at all. It was people like, what the heck is that? But this card ungraded was $50, $60 at the card shop in 1990, before all the inflation and everything, 50, 60 bucks. Now you look at this card and it's literally a $1 to $5 card ungraded. This one in a PSA 10 is $120. But how many of these grade out a PSA 10 compared to how many are out there? The answer, of course, is not many, and this is for a lot of these kind of these junk wax era cards. Really, really awesome cards, but they're now dollar cards, ungraded. If you have them in a 10, then you've got some value there. But again, the odds that you're going to send a raw copy into PSA and it gets a 10 are extremely low. You can probably send 100, and maybe get one, and that would be generous. It might be even more than that. So speculation in the sports card hobby, not a brand new thing at all. But again, when we talk about speculation on new players, the difference, of course, is just that the money is so much higher than it used to be. $50, $60 was like this card, and also like Mark McGwire, certain Barry Bonds cards. Jose Canseco had these types of cards, but there wasn't a $5,000 hit, coming out. There wasn't, one of ones and all sorts of different options back then. The only time people were spending hundreds of dollars on cards was vintage cards. It's 52 tops, or whatever. Going back to Marshall Fogel, what did he buy his 52 tops mantle in a PSA 10? He bought it in 1993 or 1994 for $150,000 or $100,000 or something like that, which I guarantee you when he bought that, people were like, this dude is insane. Who would spend $100,000, $150,000 on a sports card, going back to the early to mid 90s? Of course, now it looks like it was a great plan, but back then when he did it, it was absolutely nuts. Zion Williamson is just one example of this, but I think this is a great reminder that, you can have a really, really overhyped guy that he could be a great player and just still not live up to that sort of hobby relevance. The guy now is Wembanyama. Now, I would say I think Wembanyama's got a more bright future than a Zion Williamson. But again, the thing that you just don't know with any of these players really is injuries. These could be great character guys that want to work their butt off, that want to be the next Michael Jordan. And if they just happen to have some freak injury thing that keeps them out, look up, Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson, freak athlete, just had a freak hip injury that ended his career just like that. But Bo Jackson, my God, if Bo Jackson was coming out today in today's world of one of ones and the hype zones, all the craziness, Bo Jackson cards would be insane. And so just good reminders, especially for younger folks that maybe didn't live through that, 88 to 94 span of time where people were really spending a lot of money on cards for the time period, but it is not even in the same galaxy as what people are spending on new players prospects today. All right, friends, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.